Alright, so looks like we are ready, and hi everybody, I am UnFantasmaMas, or also known as Ghost Senpai, and this is Crash Bandicoot Warped, called in Europe as Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. And the first thing I'm gonna do is the first optimization of the run that I need to execute before I start the run, which is the data abuse. And which consists this? Well, the game is based on cycles, and every time you die, the cycles are reset. Okay, that wasn't my intention. Sorry. So every time that I die, the Crash dies, all the cycles are resetted. So before I start a run, I'm gonna do I'm gonna make that Crash loses a life, and then I'm gonna quit the game and start a new game on this. You know, the usual. So I'm gonna quit faster this. Okay, maybe I'm not gonna catch cycles correctly, but it doesn't matter. So well, it's time to on 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, this is this is Crash Bandicoot 3. The category is any person no item glitch, which is the intent that any person root thanked by the developers of the game. And if you are wondering why I turned down the sound effects or have deactivate them, it's because this is the first optimization of the run, because there are some cutscenes on the game that get triggered every time you enter to some specific stages, depending of your crystals, or also if you're repeating a stage for the first time and all that stuff. That cutscenes are Cortex and their allies, or well, Aku Aku, which is the mask who is helping to us. So for some reason, if we deactivate the sound effects, that cutscene doesn't appear, making that we can save like 40 seconds, which is a huge amount of time. So if you are a big fan of sound effects, maybe you're not gonna like this run, but otherwise the game has a nice soundtrack. So the history of this game is that it starts when you finish the second title at 100%, when the Cortex station, the Cortex space station got destroyed. One of the parts of the space station falls on the earth and makes that Uka Uka, the evil twin of Aku Aku, gets free. And then, well, Uka Uka is mad with Cortex since he failed twice in a row in order to dominate the world, but he feels like a good guy since he got free of his prison. Now, with the help of Entropy, they are gonna use this time machine to get all the crystals, gems, and relics to use their energy to dominate the world. So since we're the good guys, we are gonna keep that we're gonna try that this doesn't gonna happen. So we need to use this machine and go through all these 25 stages in order to beat the game. The any person item glitch, as I've said before, it's the intent that any person root, which is just to get all 25 crystals in the game and beat Cortex. We're gonna unlock the bad ending. That I'm gonna explain that later. That doesn't mean that the bad guys are gonna win, but the real cutscene unlocks when you finish the game at 105%. And well, comparing this game with Crash Bandicoot 2, there was some nice differences. For example, the kind of warp room. Now we can access to the 5 warp rooms on the same place. And also on this game, for the first time, we are able to play as Coco, which is the Crash's little sister that features in the second game. What I was trying to do here, it's an glitch called, well, a skip named Cuddle Skip, which makes that I can skip that last cutscene of Coco curling Pura, and that saves 5 seconds, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get it. The way that I get it is that for some reason, if I jump on a correct spot, the game's gonna think that I'm on the floor when I am touching the roof. So with that I can execute a higher jump, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get it, so I have lost 5 seconds thanks to that animation. And also, as you can see, I have started first with stage 2, and then I moved to stage 3, and then on the stage 5. And if you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because fortunately on this game it's not necessary to go through a linear route, and since the masks plays an important role in the game, I'm gonna go on a specific order of stages in order to get them. Because when you have the invincibility mode, which is activated when you have the 3 masks. You cannot get damaged by any enemy for some seconds, and also you move a bit faster. So I'm gonna try to keep all my masks as I can. There are some stages that has 2 masks and other stages that just have 1 mask, so thanks to that reason, thanks to that topic, thanks to that point, I'm gonna move carefully between some stages in order to go for the masks, and obviously keep them and I'm losing, because if I lose 1 mask and for example I need to enter to a stage that just have 1 mask and I need that mask to go more faster in some parts, I need to change my route. So depending on how many masks you have, once you finish a warp room, it's the route that you need to take. There are routes for 2 masks, 1 mask, and when you don't have no mask. And now we're gonna see the first principal kind of movement of the game, which is called neutral slide jump. And with this is that how I can execute this. Well, when you perform the slide and before the slide finishes, if you release the directional buttons or the analog stick, whatever you're using it, and then you press jump button, you're gonna keep the speed of the slide on the air, which is the most fastest way to move on the game. Also, I'm using the D-pad. We're aware that the PlayStation 1 games can be played with D-pad and analog stick, most of them, but for some reason in many games, unfortunately, analog stick is more slower, and this is the case with Crash Bandicoot World, since the analog stick is more slower, so that's the reason why I'm using the D-pad. And also the D-pad helps me to do some tricks and movements that are not possible to do with analog stick, or well, are so hard to execute, like the zigzag, which means that I'm gonna be pressing the up left, up right, whatever the combination of buttons in order to gain more speed, because with zigzagging you can move a little bit faster in the game. So now I am Barnyard, which is the last stage that I need to beat on this warp room. Nothing interesting to say here, to be honest. But also here depends an important role in the game, talking about the masks as I've said before, because if I lose 1 mask, I'm gonna change my route for a backup route on the next warp room, because it's true that some stages has 1 or 2 masks. For example, this stage just has 1 mask, and there are some stages that for some reason you can get 3 or 4 masks. There are so few stages, so this specific stage, like for example the stage number 6 has 3 masks. I'm gonna keep I'm gonna save that stage for now, and I'm gonna play it close to the last part of the second warp room, because I'm gonna keep that stage as my backup strat if I lose 1 masks, because at least I need to finish this every stage with 2 masks to go fine in the game. Otherwise I'm gonna change my route and I'm gonna lose a little amount of time. Also, it's something common that if you watch somebody running this game, is gonna have their splits by bosses, which are or warp rooms that are just 5 warp rooms and 5 bosses, thanks to this stuff of the changing, talking about changing the route and all that kind of stuff on the run. So now it's time to go to the first boss of the game, which is Tiny Tiger. It's easy to beat, it's not so hard, but with a little mistake everything can be bad. So on this part, don't worry, this is normal that we don't have any kind of sound on the background. Don't worry staff, don't worry people, everything is fine. Now in this first phase, Tiny is gonna jump 5 times, and then for some reason if I put on this corner, the lions that get out of the screen, if you can see, they doesn't recognize me and I can be safer here. So now in this second phase he's gonna jump 6 times, and then on the last phase he's gonna jump 7 times, and everything is gonna be the same. Why there's no music in the background? Well, for some reason if you skip the first cutscene, well, the cutscene of this boss fight, and you go directly to the battle, the music doesn't get played. To skip cutscenes and all that kind of stuff on this game, you need to press the triangle button. So now this is the first boss defeated, first warp room defeated. Now it's time to go to the second warp room of the game. And now since I have these 2 masks, I'm gonna start on stage 7. because there are some parts that you will need the masks with no any other option, since the normal movement is gonna be slow and the mask is gonna help to go a little faster. I'm gonna jump over here to be safe. So now this is the only mask that we can find on this stage, and if you can see on this part, I'm gonna move faster. There's gonna be a part that I'm not gonna be able to keep the masks, because if you have saw, this is like a kind of, there's a kind of limitation with the time. So if you see here, I'm moving faster, but now on this part that the effect finishes, you're gonna see that the crash movement is slow. So thanks to this kind of stuff in the game, the masks plays an important role in the game. So definitely you're not gonna be liking to start the stage with just one mask or no masks. And just for safeness, I'm gonna wait until this guy comes in order to defeat him. I should have do a damage boost and lose one mask in order to go faster, but I wanna keep the stage number 6 as a backup, as I've said before, in order to be a bit safer. Now it's time to move to the stage number 9, another stage that you will require the masks, because also it's not if you keep the mask, you just doesn't go faster. Obviously, you can also freeze some cycles. Well, the cycles are gonna be running in the background, but there are some stuff that will be acting with the cycle. So if you have the invisibility mode, the good part is that you can skip that kind of cycles that are freeze, making that you can save a huge amount of time. And also, doing the neutral slide jump, I can reach some parts that are a bit away off screen. Like for example, that last platform. Suppose that I have activate that metal box in order to make that the platform moves, but with the neutral slide jump, I can skip that and save like between 1 to 2 seconds. And now as you can see, some parts of the stages got freeze. For example, if I touch this that likes, there are gonna be some traps that are gonna be activated, but since I'm on the invisibility mode, that doesn't happen. So that are the important points of the mask. Now again, with the neutral slide jump, I can reach this part that are a bit away, that I also need to activate the switch, and with that I can save 3 seconds. Now it's time to see again Coco on stage number 10, which is Magna Run again, a kind of stage similar to Orange Express, which was the stage number 3, but this is a bit longer and a bit harder in some way. There are 3 different versions of this game: the NTSCU, NTSCJ, and POL version. The version that you wouldn't like to play, definitely, it's the POL version, because the neutral slide jump, it's slower, so you're gonna prefer to do zigzag slide spin in order to go a bit faster. And also there were a lot of changes with some boxes, there are more enemies, and well, POL version is harder. And NTSCJ, in some way it's similar to the, okay, I have to lose my mask, but it doesn't matter. And NTSCJ is similar to NTSCU, which is the difference that every time you catch, okay, that was bad, I don't know why I haven't taken that crystal. Well, as I was saying, NTSCJ, every time you catch the Aqua's mask boxes, Aqua is gonna talk to you and is gonna give you some kind of advices or hints to make the game go easier. But if we deactivate the sound effects, that doesn't happen. But the loading times are a bit slower. They're 0.3 slower than the NTSCU, making that on this category you lose at least like 18 seconds. There are sound issues. So now on this stage, as you can see here, there's a special kind of box that it's a kind of roulette box that sometimes can give you a life, can give you one further, or simply give you nothing. So that specific box has an Aku mask, so thanks to it, this stage it's taken as a backup stage. It's a backup strat for the masks, because on this technically we can have 3 masks, but since I have lost a mask on the last stage, I just was gonna use that extra box in order to have the gain invisibility, but unfortunately since I have missed the crystal, I have needed to do that Coco loses a life in order to respawn and get another opportunity to go for the crystal. In this kind of stages that you can move without any kind of big issues, you can go free on all stage, and you can, if you miss the crystal, you can go back for it. But in stages like on the Coco one, you're not gonna be able to do that. So if I miss the crystal, I need to do a restart. I need to perform a dead, and then I need to appear again. So this is the last stage of this warp room, Hawk Ride, and this is a kind of auto scroller again. And well, this was one of the new improvements on the game, because in Crash 2 there was a kind of stage that you ride a polar bear named Polar. You ride it as Crash, and here you ride a little tiger called Pura by Coco. Also, you can have some cool races and a motorcycle. Obviously, Crash looks nice on it. That's the reason why we play as Crash here, and well, it's his game, so it has some kind of reason. The way that you gain the crystal in these stages is that you need to finish the stage on the first place. If you don't finish the stage on the first place, you finish on second, third, whatever is the place. Obviously, you're not gonna gain the crystal, and you're gonna get out of the stage, and then you need to re-enter to the stage again. Something that obviously makes you lose a huge amount of time. But in 2017, on last year, Crash Bandicoot Saint Trilogy were released for the PS4, and on that remastered versions of the game, Activision and Vicarious Visions have added something cool for this kind of stages. That it's that if you don't finish the stage on first place, the game gives you the option to restart the stage, which is something cool. And now this is the second boss battle, and this is not the intended way that you need to beat this guy. This bad guy is the Dingodile, and the way that you beat him is that, as you can see, he has a fire gun. So he's gonna throw some fireballs to the air, you need to avoid them, then he's gonna start to destroy these walls, and then you're gonna be able to hit him and beat him. And also, something I forgot to mention is that every time you defeat a boss, you gain a new power-up. In this case, on the first warp room, I got a kind of super body slam, and now I have got that double jump. Okay, I forgot to split there, doesn't matter. And you have a kind of... Now we have unlocked a kind of double jump. Well, not a kind of, it's a double jump. And also, the movement that I have execute on the boss battle it's a kind of extended jump. Okay, and now for some reason on this stage, thanks to all the stuff that it's on it, sometimes the game can crash or freeze for a while when you start the stage. Fortunately, I never have got that issue, but I know another friends and other runners and other casual people that sometimes get that problem. Fortunately, nothing bad happened here, so we can go through this. And this is also one of the important stages that you would like to start with 2 masks, because he just has 1 mask. And while talking about the last boss battle, the movement that I have done, it's called... Well, I don't know how it's called, but when you perform a slide and then you press the jump button and the spin button, and you are gonna be able to do a higher jump, more higher than the intended by the developers of the game. So thanks to that, we can reach faster the Dingodile, and we can beat him a lot faster. than intended, saving like 1 minute if I remember correctly. Now it's time to move to Dynamite, another stage just have one mask, and I run also as Snow Brothers. I'm not so good at Bandicoot, but maybe one of these days I'm gonna be so good on that game. Okay, that was a nice random body slam. And also, unfortunately, these enemies are not able to beat with the invincibility mode, so I'm just gonna be pushed by them, so I need to jump over them in order to go through this stage. And now, well, what I had break before was on that dinosaur egg, so if you were wondering that Mario was the only one who was able to ride a dinosaur, in this case Yoshi, you're wrong. Also Crash has his own dinosaur. It doesn't save so much time unless you do zigzag, but I just catch the little dinosaur because it's cool. Just gonna move quickly here. And also, as you have noticed, there are some parts that there are some kind of lag. This is something common on a real console. If you play this in an emulator or a PlayStation 3, there's no lag on it. But loading times on emulator and PS3 are not so good, as we can say. And yes, no sound effects. I have explained this before. Okay, that was bad. I'm gonna repeat why I have deactivated sound effects. There are some cutscenes that appears on the game, so if I deactivate them, that cutscene doesn't appear, making that I can save a huge amount of time, between 30 to 40 seconds, I don't remember correctly, to be honest. And talking about again of the loading times, as I've said, PS1 emulator and PlayStation 3, even if it's a PS3 with the original disc of the game or the PlayStation Network version, they are so slow in loading times. I'm playing this game on a PlayStation 2, which is the most fastest platform to play the game, because the PlayStation 2 has an option called fast disk speed that if you activate makes that the disk spin faster, and with that you can reduce a huge amount of time in loading screens. And also my PB on this game is it's 53:17, world record is 44:25 per Borderlands, also a good runner in this game. So now I have beat it 3 stages, and I'm gonna go for the stage that it's supposed that you need to keep as a backup if you lose one mask, which is stage 12. It's the second underwater stage, unfortunately the last one of this in all the game, because these stages are so annoying to beat, but for now there's any kind of forum to skip this stage on this category. And talking about the category, as I've said before, and also you can watch on screen, it's called Any Person Knowing Glitch. What's the reason of the name? Well, on Crash Bandicoot 2 there's a glitch that also appears on Crash 3, that if you keep jumping on a metal box and you do some kind of movements, you can trick the game in order that the games give you the crystals and gems to finish faster the game. And since that glitch can be done also in Crash 3, but it takes more time and it's not funny to do, it's not determined to watch and all that kind of stuff, I don't run it. But also thanks to that glitch, this is the reason why this category is called any person item glitch, which is the intended any person route, just going for the 25 crystals and then beat Cortex. Also on these underwater stages, I am mashing the cross button to swim and the spin, well, the square button to do a spin, and obviously with that I can move a little bit faster in the game. So now I don't like this last part, so I'm gonna try to move a bit safely. Okay, so now I'm gonna do... Okay, I haven't got any damage. It's supposed on that part I should have do a damage boost in order to lose that underwater vehicle and enter faster to the portal, but mistakes were made. It's time to go to the last stage, which is Road Crash. There are three racing stages in all this run. There's a fourth stage for the 105% category, which is the full competition of the game. And unfortunately we are not gonna watch that stage. And from all the three stages that this category has, this is the most annoying. This is not so long, but there's a lot of obstacles that can make that you cannot get the first place so faster. So also, if I keep quiet here, it's because I'm trying to get focused. Just for that reason. Since it's a bit annoying to beat this. And also the way that you move is that you just need to keep pressing the cross button. And you need to move with the D-pad or analog stick, nothing interesting to say. Now we start with the risky part. Blizzard engine. And there we go, we are safe. We have beat the stage. And now we're gonna go versus the third boss of the game, which is Trophy or Nefarious Trophy, and which is the guy who creates this time machine that we are using to travel on the time. Again, we're gonna have this kind of glitch like we got on the first boss with the music, but don't worry, the music's gonna start in a while. So the pace is this guy's gonna shoot that stuff one time, on the second pace 2 times, and the third 3 times, and then we need to skip all this stuff. He's gonna make that the floor moves, and once it moves, you need to make the spin, give him damage, well, make some damage, and then there we go. Second phase. And now, as you heard the music in the background had start. Again, he's gonna move the floor. Also, that part is random. Sometimes the floor can have some kind of different forms, so that's the reason why I wait a bit in order to move. Unfortunately, on these 2 phases, I haven't got a good floor on that part, so I have moved a bit slower, but it's fine. And again, I haven't got a good pace with the floor. And third boss defeated. Now I have gained... What I have gained? I don't remember. Can somebody remember me what I have got? Okay, I remember. I think that it's okay. It's a tornado spin, which makes that my spin goes more longer, and I can take a kind of. I can fly. Well, go down in some way. And also, this is another risky stage that you will like to keep the masks. There's just one mask in the game, and with that you can. Okay, I'm gonna wait here. I should have moved, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna reach the last part of the stage since I have moved slowly. So now I have here 3 masks, and I'm gonna freeze the cycle of the water so the water's not gonna rise up, and I'm gonna be able to move faster here since the water's not gonna rise up, and I'm gonna be able to keep moving here. And with this, I don't know how much seconds I have saved. I think I have saved between 10 to 20. And this is the stuff that I have unlocked, the tornado spin. With this I can do this kind of slide, well, this kind of spin, and flying through the air on this stage. I'm gonna die. Okay, that was risky. So I'm gonna wait until the waters rise up, then when it goes down I'm gonna start to move. I'm not gonna take that platform, I'm gonna move to the next one. And I'm gonna do another risky strat. Okay, that was good. And now I'm just doing stage 16. And again, there's just one mask here that's hiding just right here. There's a way to make a little skip on these platforms. It can save some few seconds, but I'm gonna go through the safer route because I don't know why, but on my recent attempts I haven't been able to get that. And also, cycles are freezed again. Not anymore. And guess what? I have forgotten which stage did I need to move after this. Never mind, I have remembered that. You know, something that I have forgot to say when I have started the run is that I need to apologize to the people. It's supposed. Okay, I have lost one last quarter. It's supposed that I have started this run earlier, but I needed to go to university. That wasn't on my plans since I got some exams this week, and I need to go just to see my results on one exam. And it took more longer than I was expecting. And now since I have lost a mask, I'm gonna go for the stage 18, which is one of the backup stages. It just has one mask. It's a Coco stage, and on Coco stages we don't need to get so worried about the mask since we cannot get the invincibility there. But that doesn't mean that the masks are not important on the game. So for some reason I haven't catched that switch, and that monkeys start to attack me. Now it's time to watch some Coco action. With this kind of stages there are 3 again, but in this category we're just gonna watch 2. Why I'm saying that just in this category there are more kind of these stages and we are gonna watch less of them? Well, because on the 105%, which is the full completion of the game, when you beat the stage gaining the crystal, if you enter again, you're gonna see some yellow clocks that if you touch them you're gonna enter to the time trial mode, and some boxes are gonna turn into some yellow boxes that will freeze the timer for some seconds, for the seconds shown on the box obviously. and with that, if you beat the game on a certain amount of time, you can gain a relic, and with the relics you can unlock the Warp Room 6 on the game, which lets you to access to another 5 extra stages. Well, there are really 4 of them, and there's one extra start for, well, an alternative route for another stage just for go for 1 gem. This game, and well, with that will be an amount of 30 stages, since each warp room has 5. But in total, there are 32 stages in all the game. One of the stages, well, of this kind of stages there are 4. There are not 3. There are 4. I have to remember right now. But in this category, we are just gonna watch 2 of them. The 3rd stage is unlocked with relics, and the 4th stage can be found on a secret enter on another stage. That also happens with the stage 32. But thanks to the item glitch, if you gain more crystals that you were intended, or well, I don't remember correctly for what the crystals, I think that it was with the relics, but the point is that if you get them and you gain a certain amount of items, for some reason the path for the stage 31 appears in the 6th warp room. Because thanks to it, we can see that it was intended in some way by the developers of the game, but at the end that was removed. Let's start with this first kind of futuristic stages. And again, we just have here 1 mask, so we need to be so careful about what we are doing. Well, about what we are doing here. So the mask is right here. Unfortunately, you cannot freeze cycles here, but at least you can move faster and you cannot get damage, which is something cool. Well, the bazooka that you can unlock on this game after you beat the 4th boss, which is the boss of this warp room, can be used also. It's a bit slower, but on some of the warp 5 stages I used to use it. Like for example, with this kind of enemies I used to use that bazooka, but since I haven't unlocked it, I'm not able to use it. Okay, thank you. Now it's time to move to the last stage that I haven't beat on this game, which is Bye Bye Blimps, the stage number 17, which again is a stage with Coco. And also, if you're a big fan of Coco as me, get ready to say goodbye to her, because this is, unfortunately, this is the last stage that we're gonna be playing as her. So after this, say bye Coco. So on this stage I need to destroy these blimps. There are just 7 of them, so it shouldn't be a big deal. And also that annoying flying enemies, every time they shoot to me they're gonna make me 1% of damage, but I don't need to get worried. Even if I got hit by them, I'm gonna be able to finish this stage because it's easy. Sometimes it's annoying, most on the first casual game playthroughs, first casual gameplays, but at the end you get used to this. There's another kind of similar stage that we're gonna play as Crash on the fifth warp room, which is annoying, totally annoying, and I'm gonna explain that later. Okay, now I have the crystal stage since I have destroyed all 7 crystals. So bye, Coco. It's time to say goodbye to this little cutie girl, to this little cutie Bandicoot. And wait, what happened? I'm a liar. This is the real last stage with Coco, and yes, this is the only boss battle that you can play as Coco. This is Engine, or as I like to call him, the real game boss. He has 2 faces. 2 paces, sorry. So this is the first phase of him. I just need to destroy him and everything should be fine. 5 hit points, shouldn't be a big deal. There we go. Oh, this is the second phase, which is the most hardest. I'm gonna keep quiet while I try to focus on this. Damn, this is not good. Destroy this, please. Okay. Game, please. Okay, this is not good. I'm wasting a huge amount of time here. Okay. Game, please. And there we go. Second boss defeated, and now I have unlocked the bazooka. And now it's time to start with probably the most annoying stage of all this category, which is Mad Bombers. Because now we need to destroy these planes, but the hitbox is reduced comparing that with the blimps. And also the enemies are more annoying and makes you a 4% of damage. Even though we don't want that it happens, so I'm gonna try to keep as safely as I can. Because as you have seen here, I just need to shoot to this parts of the plane, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to beat that. Okay, that was a nice aiming. And also, probably this is my most pace killer on this game, and also the most big pace killer of many runners. Fortunately, there are some health boxes or health balloons that if I break them, I'm gonna gain some extra 50% of health. So I'm gonna go for this. Now I have it. I'm gonna destroy this plane that is over here. Also, something curious about Insane Trilogy, which is the remastered version of this game, is that you can play most of the stages as Coco or as Crash, except the last. Well, except for example, there are some stages like the specific Coco stages that you cannot play them as Crash, and also the bosses cannot be played as Coco. But for some reason on My Emblems you cannot play as Crash, you just play as Coco. But on this stage you can play as Crash and also as Coco. And I have wasted a huge amount of time here, definitely. And if I die, I'm gonna waste more time. Don't shoot me, please. Okay, I'm a bit safe right now. Personally, I prefer the jet ski stages instead of the flying stages, or at least with mud bombers. Well, I can say mud bombers is not my favorite stage of the game, but the other flying stages are good. And now, since I have lost all my masks thanks to bye-bye blimps, and also if I access some bosses like engine, I'm gonna lose my masks. I'm gonna go to the stage 25, a box slide, which it's the only stage that has 4 masks. So I'm gonna move here. The first mask is not so far away of this, so once I got it, if I lose it, it doesn't matter since I'm gonna get another mask soon. And also, if I have a mask and I get damaged, I can freeze some cycles for a bit, which can be something helpful in some parts if you do the correct timing. Now I got here the 3 masks. And I got here a big mistake, I haven't catched the bug light, but it doesn't matter since I respawn on this checkpoint that I am close to get the 3 masks again. Obviously I'm gonna lose time, but I have 3 masks, so why not? And I haven't catched that again. And I have to lose my mask again, but it doesn't matter. Next stage is gonna be slower, but who cares? So it's supposed that after this stage I was gonna... Oh god, this is not good. It's supposed that I was gonna move to stage 21, but I'm gonna move to stage 23 since I don't use the masks. The invincibility pays there, since I'm not good on it. And this is something that I don't like. The box light, don't like but this stage specifically. Because it's supposed that I have catch the bugs, but I haven't catched them. So I'm gonna move through stage 23. That was a bad timing. What the? Okay, I'm gonna use the bazooka to beat this bad guy. Also, something good about the bazooka is that you can destroy some enemies that you're gonna be able to reach normally, like that guys that appears on the windows. And also, you can break some boxes and all that stuff. Just kinda amazing. Bad guy. Slide here. While the fire finishes, I'm gonna shoot this guy. What? Okay, this is kinda amazing. And well, if Mad Bomber doesn't kill my paces, this stage makes all that work. But don't worry, this can be a 56. So it's still fine. Crash is 20 years old. Well, Crash 3 is 20 years old. And actually I'm 21 years old. I have played this game for the first time back in 2001 when I was 4 years old. Feels old, man. And well, no mask, so whatever. This can be like at 56 or 57, which is gonna be good since I'm gonna be able to finish under the estimate. And I have lost my only mask, but it's fine since I'm not gonna need that later. Shoot this bad guy, and I can keep moving. And I'm gonna shoot this bad guy again. I'm gonna shoot that other bad guy. We can compare this like that kind of random enemies that sometimes appear in some games that are literally the same model. Personally, I don't like so much this kind of stages, but I need to admit that the soundtrack is amazingly awesome. So after this, we're gonna move to the last stage that we need to complete of the all principal 25 stages that the game has. Which is Orange Asphalt again, a racing stage. It's long, but fortunately it's more easy than Road Crash, so it shouldn't be a big problem to beat it. So again, I need to keep pressing the cross button while I move through the stage. Nope. Well, it doesn't matter a lot if I choke a bit here, because as you can see, if I get in some part of the stages, I'm gonna keep my speed, but if I go out of the road, I'm gonna be slowed down. So we don't want that it happens. And also, if you are so close to the edge of the road, it should be fine, because there are some parts that you can keep moving faster. And also with that you can skip some stuff in the game, because for example that ramps are slower, so that's the reason why I don't take them. Easy peasy. So now I am on a safer pace, so I just need to keep focused on the route in all the stage. And officially we have beat all the 25 principal stages that this game has. And now it's time to go through the last boss battle of the game, which is obviously no Cortex. And like on engine, it doesn't matter how many masks you have. By default, you lose them because you can see Aku Aku, our mask, is fighting versus his evil twin brother Uka Uka. So on these 3 places, Neocortex is gonna throw some lasers, then he's gonna... Well, he's gonna shoot some lasers, then he's gonna throw these mines on the floor, so I need to be careful. Once he falls down, once he loses his shield, I need to make him spin close to him. And obviously I need to be careful and try to avoid the Masked Brothers, because if I get touched by them, rape. Also, that mines are random, so also I take my own time in order to get close to Cortex and beat him. So this is the last phase. And also, as you have seen before, there's a text box that appears when I gain the power up that I skip with the triangle button. Time's gonna finish when I press the triangle button to skip that box. Okay, that was so close to be a good choke. So be ready for the time, guys. And time. 55-12, not bad. For a moment I thought that this is gonna be like a 56 or 57. Even with that death, I can consider that, well, considering my abilities on this game, it wasn't so bad at all. So, well, on this part, Cortex is saying that he should take a little break, a little rest, because now he feels so tired and his head is hurting him. And Aku Aku then says that everything that we haven't finished this because we need to get some crystal. Well, we need to get some gems and relics, meaning that this is not the real ending of the game. When we have all the relics, all gems, and also